Okay, I'm talking to Kent Ma. Kent, we talked to you, I think it was last year, and we were talking to you about you doing internet radio and all the things that went on in internet radio and how you did it and everything and how you got involved and all that. And then I noticed, we were talking about all that, but you were out of internet radio. You weren't doing it, and we were talking kind of in past tense. And now, 2023, you're back in it. And
Yeah. I didn't plan on it, right? But it just, it came about, and yeah, voila, I'm back at it.
right on. So, what is it about this time that you like it better than say last time?
Well, this time it was just more. A lot of there was a few circumstances with the people that are involved in what I'm doing now, but the manager or the guy that runs it, right? I've known him for a long time, and so on, right? And he just straight up got a hold of me, and he just honestly asked me if I wanted to DJ, right? Because he broke off from a previous station, and he wanted to do it on his own. And he's really he's pretty computer savvy, and that part I'm not. So he says, look, I've known you for a long time, and and I wanted, I want to DJ, and all the other DJs that are on this station, I know too, right? And they said, we just want to do our thing, our way, and just, basically come and go as we please, and and because we have a lot of supporters and a lot of listeners, and so he wanted me to come on board, and he says you're good. I go yeah, and it was just comfortable with him because knowing him for so long, and we have a good working relationship, right? So I said, sure, why not? I'll take another crack at it, and so on.
Right. So you talk about listeners and all that. So, what kind of listeners? Like, what kind of music do they like?
Oh, they like a wide genre of music, but most know that rock and then like hard rock and heavy metal are my favorite genres to play. So so a lot of people around my age and older, right? That still that still get off on that type of music. They supported me before, and they heard that I was coming back, and so they got back into listening to internet radio again, besides their local radio station in the car or what have you, right? But yeah, no, that's basically it. But then there's also people that like the 80s. A lot of people, their favorite genre is the 80s, and then there's also lots that the classic rock, stuff from the 60s, and they grew up during that time. They went to concerts at that time. They were little young punks, little young teenagers, just like we were, right? Like going to cheap concerts, right? And so on. And they caught all these bands, and then I have that in my playlist, and they request it, and and it's fun. Right? I get to relive my youth, and through them, by them wanting me to play that type of music. And then of course in the 80s, same thing. For me it was like I was in high school, so I get to relive playing that music, I get to, relive those times. And of course, with the people that like, just the rock that I usually play, they get to party on the weekend, and and so on, right? And it's a blast when I get going and all that.
Cool. And how many days a week do you do it now? And what times do you roughly on?
Right now, okay, I'm on Mondays. I do Wednesdays, and then I do Fridays and Saturdays, and each day is like a different type of show. On Mondays, I do like classic rock. On Wednesdays, I call it metal meltdown, and heavy metal and all of that, hard rock. And then on Fridays I play a mixed bag of stuff, and I let people request. And then on Saturdays, I do a top 10 at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that basically is I let the supporters, the listeners, pick a year, and like yesterday I did it, and I did the year 1983. So I do the top 10 songs of that year, and then the rest of the show, right? And which is about an hour and a bit. I pick songs of that year, like of 1983, and it's a blast, right? Because people are dancing and reliving that particular year. So, yeah, so that's basically how it goes for the week.
Right. And you get people from all over the globe, I guess, eh?
Oh yeah. Like people mainly in the USA on the East Coast, and a lot of Australians, a lot of Kiwis, a few from the UK. Those are my hardcore supporters. They just want, when I do about 2 to 3 hours, and they want me to go on all night, and no, I don't do that, right? So it's not in my pay scale to do that. but I do 3-4 hours, just depending on how the night goes. It's just the feel and the flow of the night, right? And I'll go on longer if things are going are going great. If not, then I just do about 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
So it rolls like that.
Right on. So you're enjoying it this time for sure. It sounds like. And I was going to say, so what are some of your favorite songs and bands to play?
Oh, for me, I like a wide range of things, right? But I usually like things that things. Bottom line is I like things with, of course, a good beat. But I mainly like the heavier stuff, right? And all. I like the new the newer stuff, right? Let's see. I've been getting into Eddie Van Halen's Thunder, Mammoth, WVH, and Wolfgang. Eddie's son, and I heard a couple of songs on the video on TV on the video station, and I heard a couple of songs, and I bought all his albums off of iTunes, right? And I try play with their stuff, as much as I can. And another one that just about during this week is I believe they're called the Hue, HU, and they're a Mongolian
Oh yes.
metal band. They do the throat thing, and they all the instruments, and they're good, and they're really, the music, right, to me is like, whoa, like you'd think like it'd be kind of boring. It's not, right. It kicks ass, right.
It's really interesting
and all, right. It's like and because their influences are Metallica, and they even do a Metallica song, and so on, right? But yeah, I've been getting into them, and like I said, I heard well, 2 or 3 songs, and then I go, oh man, I got to get these guys. And I bought a couple of days ago. I bought 2. They have 2 albums out, and I bought them both. Yeah, so
There you go.
those
There
are
you go.
my latest additions.
Yeah, that's cool. And so in like you like all that kind of music. What do people request? What kind of styles of music do you get?
Oh yeah, just a wide range of things. But a few people, a few listeners, they request heavy stuff like Dio, Black Sabbath, Motorhead, just all full load heavy metal, and so on. They'll request that, and then I got the opposite spectrum, right? Get requests like for Bob Dylan and Pink Floyd, stuff in the '60s, Crosby, Stills and Nash. All the classics. Neil Young, Bruce Springsteen. What's those guys? Led Zeppelin, the Mamas and the Papas. Yeah, it's just a whole. I even got. They want me to add people like Engelbert Humperdinck and stuff like that. Oh yeah, I'm serious, right? He has a song. Of course he covered a lot of songs, and the most popular one that people ask me for is Please Release Me, right? That was way back black and white TV, long time ago, right? He sang a song, if you can believe it or not, called Lesbian Seagulls, and it's a funny title, right? But it's a serious song, right? And he did it, and I get from a couple of women listeners, right? They want me to get that, right? and I play mostly everything, but I do have certain limits.
Yeah. I hear you.
Yeah, right. So
There's some things you just you won't play. Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
So now what on the radio, to talk just about the internet radio station for a minute. How many different kinds of genres of shows do they do? What they do everything? They do house music? Do they do country? Do they do jazz? What do they do? Blues.
Yeah, the other DJs, they do like dance, they and stuff like that. Like yesterday, after I did my show, we have a DJ called a new DJ called DJ Diamond. She's from Houston, Texas, and she's from Mexico, but she was American born, and so she's got the USA accent, and she also speaks Spanish too at the same time, and she does she did an '80s dance party, and all of that, Madonna, Jennifer Lopez, stuff like that, Paula Abdul, and a whole bunch, a whole hour and a half worth of dance music, right? She literally didn't want nobody sitting, and she was like a drill sergeant telling everybody, get up, dance, come on, boom, 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 right? and everybody was having it was a blast. Everybody was having a party, and then we got other DJs who come from the Midwest, and his name is DJ Dog, yeah, and he does he does country, he does he does really, really obscure stuff. Like he likes playing covers, and he'll find all these covers of top hit songs and all of that, right? And people like listening to that when if they're doing nothing and they're having they're drinking away or or smoking something or whatever, and so on, right? And right? They like listening to it, right? Because it's a blast, and they just laugh, and it's like watching a comedy movie, and everyone's just having fun. And then we got other people. We got one called DJ Miles. He likes the blues. He likes jazz, and he's he does, and then he plays variety, right? But those are his favorites. And then another DJ, his name's DJ Tim, who he's the guy that who owns it, runs it. He grew up in the '80s, and that's his favorite to play music in the '80s and music say in the early '90s and stuff like that, right? Mm-hmm. So he sticks to that. So basically, we hit all genres and so on.
Cool. Well, it sound Ken, like you're having a good time, and that's great. And what's the name of the station if people want to listen to it? What's it?
It's called Galaxy Radio.
Galaxy Radio.
And
all right.
Yeah. And to get to it, you just go on to good old Google, and you just type in Galaxy-radio.com, and it should pop up on the list, right? And so on.
Good. Well, thanks, Ken. We'll be talking to you soon.
Yeah. Thank you.